Very good morning to one and all present over there. So today I'm Prachi Shrivastava, Group Head Corporate Relations, Sagar Group of Institutions, presenting you Sagar Samarthya, especially for our pre-final year students, just for their onboarding to placements. So I would like to welcome batch 2022 SISTec College. Students, here the basic agenda of Sagar Samarthya is making you each and every step very flexible so that it will be ease for you when you are onboarding to placements. Ekansh will help me to remove the slides. So on the contrary, we always talk about, n number of opportunities are coming, though we are actually in the pandemic and, experiencing a very, very weird phase in life. And still, there are something which is unstoppable, which is magnificent, which is all the way to you presenting from this particular stage is the opportunities. So maybe India is in pandemic, a number of things are happening, you know, cases are increasing day by day, and still we are on the move because here we are unstoppable, providing you a number of opportunities and internships. So it is very mandatory for all of you to understand how this process always initiates and provide you the best ways so that at least in this particular era also we can be able to secure one particular opportunity for ourselves. And in this particular phase we are not supposed to lose any stone so that it can be turned up with a good placements. So let's go ahead, meet our team here. Mr. Mayank Nema, Manager Corporate Relations at Ratibad Campus. Mr. Sharat Srivastav, Manager Corporate Relations at Gandhinagar Campus. Mr. Ekan Shukla, Associate Corporate Relations, Ratibad Campus. And Mr. Deepak Dangi, Associate Corporate Relations at Sagar Group of Institutions. Along with, we have our training team with Mr. Badal Bose, who is heading the entire group as far as corporate trainings are concerned. As far as we talk about the industrial outlook, we always say that IT sector contributed 42% in the phase of 2020. In manufacturing, we have 19% of stage. As far as constructions industry is coming, we have 11%. Talking about maintenance and telecom, we have 15% of contribution this year. Talking about product development, we have 12%. So down the lane, industries are growing day by day, though we are facing the pandemic, but still there are certain contribution as far as placements are concerned. Opportunities are into lining up, and we have a broader sense of industry outlook. So there is nothing to worry whether you have taken up computer science, electrical, electronics, mechanical, or civil. You have to be very confident that this year also the opportunities will be lying on the waves and we are open for it. Now, the basic agenda for today's discussion. What is the basic expectation as far as the pre-final year is considered? As you can say, the very first thing we always emphasize about the internship. It is very mandatory to all of you to go down to a particular process where minimum of 45 days to maximum of 6 months, you have industry real experience. Whatever you have learned throughout these 3 years, now there is a implication of particular brackets so that you could understand whatever we have understood in our curriculum. Now there is a time to implement those. And yes, during these internships, you have all the right, to explore even opportunities as well as your trending skill sets. We talk about the core skill sets, specifically when we talk about graduate engineer trainee in progressive path of, electronics, electrical, and mechanical. So if you want to secure your placement in core skill, of course, you have to start early. Your particular agenda is reciprocate to the entire thing which you have involved in your CV or the resume, and you have to understand that you have to follow the solution based approach, because this time industry expectation is growing there way by way, And though we have seen n number of changes in the industrial pattern, and you have also seen like 5 internships we have introduced to you, and all these 5 internships, their expectations, their reality checks are so very different. So gone are the days where we were sticking up with only aptitude, com skill, and your domain part. Now we have n number of specific rounds which are being introduced for you, especially when we talk about coding parameters, especially when we talk about puzzle round. So you have to very solution based approach. You have to opt this. Then we have very very strong fundamentals. This is the initial stage where you need to focus on fundamentals. And yes, your attitude, your soft skills are bent towards your positive attitude. I have already floated this particular chart in your section era, where you can read point wise. I'm not covering the entire thing because it has already been covered in your CRT module. So you know you need to very very focusedly work on technical CV. Here I'm not talking about your normal CV, or you can basic resume. I'm talking about your technicalities which you need to involve in this. Add up your GitHubs, add up your workstation profiles to it. Module wise preparation is must. Integrated content, project display, and you need to work on your communication, whether it is written or verbal. Next slide. What services we are providing you as far as department is considered? The very first thing, you're supposed to register for the placements by pointing out all the criteria about your interest and your domain interest. Second, you have publish your CV, where you need to publish this curriculum vitae or resume at SISTec training app. Technical and soft skill training modules, which is we are going to cover with the help of your department and the CRT module by training team. We have assessment modules in the name of MCAT and CoCubes, and we have a placement partner of Next Gen Ventures. These 3 parameters you have to understand. We'll be discussing in the next slides also. We have a policy briefing. Once we are finishing up this particular session, you will be floating team will be floating you kind of policies and the registration form. By each and every point you need to understand, and if there is any glitch or any query, you can raise there while in your WhatsApp groups. Then we have services broadly in the formats of internships and placements. Internships are throughout because you are going to appear in your 7th sem, and this is the right time when you can come up with a very very strong fundamentals which provide you a skill based internships. Next slide. Now, this is a very important thing. You need to understand the process of entire function we are going to introduce to you. So why I have putting this title, be aware or beware, because a very little mistakes you pro to do all these things, and the very second step you will be out of the process. So the entire thing which we need to follow, due to this pandemic, we have changed the entire pattern. So once we are sharing you the job description and understood that each and every sentence is not clear to you, so before registration, we would like to have your virtual meet so that we have a good discussion which is based on job descriptions. Then we have out of this virtual meet, if any queries raised out, or anything which related to bond or a contract, or anything you're not comfortable, or the early joinings or the internship curriculums which you're not agree, then don't go for the registrations. But yes, if you are registering for a particular process, it is mandatory for you to enroll yourself, and throughout first to final round you have to be there. Instead, if you miss any of the round after registration, then of course it will be a heavy penalty which will be charging in the form of getting back your name from the entire opportunities. Then we have eligibility criteria. Of course, we have different eligibility. Again, I can quote you that gone are the days when we strictly follow up the percentage criteria. This time company is very strict towards the good candidate and their candidature. So if you are working on core domain skill sets, percentage will not be a barrier for you. Then we have a process like round 1, round 2, and round 3. It may vary from company to company, and once it will be facilitated to you in the very final PPT. Once any company will come, they will ensure that final corporate PPT will be present to you, where they will be discussing the entire process. Then they will release the results, and of course we talk about the joining. So there are certain policy features which is already included in your policy of placement 2022. So you need to read each and every point related to every time we heard this query, why I'm not eligible for this particular drive, why my name is not there. So only any mistake you have done to entire these 8 steps, this will lead to you on a particular point where you can say you're not eligible or why your name is not appearing in the further drives. Next, be very specific by knowing SISTec Partners curriculum, where overall we have 2 assessments planned in the name of MCAT and 2 assessments in the name of CoCubes. This will give a clear-cut idea where our training needs will going to start and your performance, which will, taking you towards a good placement opportunities. We have a basic figurings like threshold points, 540 for the MCAT and 600 for the CoCubes. In this, you can easily secure a good bracket of 5 lakh per annum or more and 6 lakh. This is the basic minimum package we're talking about. Next Gen Ventures are they are placement partners to us. They will not provide you any assessment, but they will provide you the direct opportunities and mainly focuses on the core domains. So you have to understand these 3 features are very important as far as we talk about the placement partners process in SISTec. Next slide. Right. So here, when we talk about the very, very important slide out there, like, do's and don'ts. Whenever you are into the process of placements, you have to agree on certain things. Number 1, never say very eager to apply any opportunities, because once, not every opportunity is your cup of tea. Why we are conducting all these assessments and, internal assessments and your CRT modules, just to make you understand not every single drive is your cup of tea. It depends on particular profile and your performance, so that we can easily club you up in a certainty that you will enjoy the profile and you will not back up as far as their joinings are concerned. You always do a single mistake to misunderstood about the bond. What is bond? It is basically a contract between you and the company, mainly focuses that due to a particular tenure period, you are very seriously working for them without any glitch or, without any absconding. You will be serving them throughout your tenure. So even this is a very, very small thing they are expecting from your side. So, and every company, every good company is coming up with a certain bond or the contract. Maybe it is a monetary bond or it is a physical documentation bond. You have to understand one thing, that you have to be very confident on yourself that you will be serving without any issues to a particular company. If there is any glitch, there is a proper communication with the company and with the placement officers. So once it will be in your implication of any documentation, you won't be disagree from any bond or any contract. Core and non-core discrimination of profiles. People understood when we talk about these assessments, they will give you a clear-cut idea where you are falling down, which particular skill set will be opted as far as your personality is considered and your performance. So, for example, if a good percentage holder is not meant for the core industry, so it is particularly fine, they can opt for non-technical domain. So there is no glitch in, opportunity is opportunity, whether it is in the form of core or it is in the form of non-core. You must respect each and every opportunity, because we understood, because on the basis of these assessments, which is nationally accepted by more than 700 corporates, they understood better fetch, like, where you are standing, what is your performance throughout life. Because, for example, if I personally ask you, what are your interests and weaknesses, you have to take a pause of 5 to 10 minutes and then say according to your wish. But these assessments are not according to your wish. It is according to specifically your performance. Then the joining commitments. Once any student have joined any of the organization, they have to understand then they are in particular process of something. Whether you have opted for internship or a job portfolio, you have to be very seriously follow the entire curriculum which is being demanded by the company. Because here it is not about the chooses, because you are in the pre-final year and you are boarding for placements. We expect maturity from your side, we expect adult behavior from your side, and gone are the days when you were the student. Now for us, we are treating you as a candidate, no student anymore. So since the day we are considering, the entire training and placement team is considering you, you will be not a student for us, you will be a candidate for us. Why? Because we expect some maturity, and yes, you have to be very pro as far as your career is going to decide on the basis of your particular skill set. Now, the very important point, unreasonable salary expectations. If we are expecting a salary, that means your skill set and your performance has to match the criteria. So in SISTec, we offer you right from 3 lakh package to 21 lakh package minimum. But what we expect, like you have all the opportunities, but you have all the concern as far as your performance is going to you have to go for a particular performance meter and check where this particular things are being missed. For example, we always talk about product companies, service based companies, and number of opportunities are still aligned to you, but you need to understand very focusedly, like where this particular, for example, the first product company, and you won't be able to appear in that particular thing, or you miss the chance. Number one, what is the eligibility? Number two, if you are appearing and you are pro to provide n number of performance parameters to that round one, round two, round three, where this particular thing is happening, where you will be out of entire process. Is there coding? Is there your logics? Is there your apti part? Is there your communication? Each and everything is very important as far as these processes are aligned. And finally, your presence of mind. Maybe an average people secure the product company, maybe a very talented people will deny, or the company will not choose them. It again happen when you are presenting yourself to the entire process. So again, we have providing some do's, like being a candidate of pre-final year, what exactly you need to focus on those parameters. So again, as we said, you have all the chance to go for these certifications, and of course, it is not any Tom, Dick, and Harry presentation will do. It is something like each and every certificate has to align with the previous one. Take the core skill sets and go for it. A lot many things are available for you. Join the clubs. We have product company clubs available on LinkedIn also, and I guess before that, be very proactive on LinkedIn. Make your good profile. Our team will help you to make each and every step. We have already conducted a particular session also, and if you want, we can again introduce you to that, so that you can have a very good LinkedIn profile and join these groups. These geeks and geeks has to be there, Fang has to be there, Scalar Edge has to be there. Then talking about the mechanical part and electronics, RoboCase is there, Pogo is there. So a lot many designing skills you can also brush up. And you talk about VLSI and embedded systems, a lot many trending skill sets are available. You can learn and join their clubs. They will tell you, NITs and IITs are always there to help you out, making a strong point in these segments, and how to apply for a particular product based company. Then whenever you are presenting your skill set, always add up in your resume your co-cubes in MCAT score, because it is, if you are already certified with these scores, it is, if you are a ranker, like you have some star or badges on the on Trailblazers or Hacker Earth, Hacker Rank, you have to publish mandatory on your resume. This will make your CV or resume very bulky as far as technicalities are concerned. Next slide. Right. So as I earlier said, okay, already these are some parameters because Internshala is also providing some product-based opportunities as far as internships are concerned. So go and register on that particular thing. Technical modules you can learn from here. It is free of cost. No charges will be applicable. The core planned internship in the form of apprenticeship exclusively for electronics, electrical and mechanical. There is NEEN project which is being focused by the government of India, and they are providing you a number of opportunities to be a part of that. So next slide. You can see in your previous batch we have though we have 89 interns as of now, but few of them they are doing exceptionally well, where we have Kundan Singh from civil. He's performing the design engineer at Sagar Group. We have Sumit Vijayvargi. He is doing a sales trailblazers cloud sales profile, and he's in AppSys. Then we have Gulshan. Gulshan is working for Vishal Bearing. He's from mechanical engineer. And in a span of right from 3 months, he's taking a project manager charge. So core technical fields are still there waiting for each and every branch. So just you need to listen to these people and understand what exactly we are up to, because there are consigns and there are triggers who always ask you to deny on a certain things. But once you will be taking this ahead and focus on your journey, you will be more confident, and of course you will be earning very good. Now the next slide. The very, very important instructions you have to take up. So what we are supposed to do just after this session, I will be sharing a particular registration link in a span of next 15-20 minutes. You have to fill that link and register yourself for Sagar Samarthya process. The very second thing, you have to upload your resume on SISTec training app. Okay, if you want, you can note it down. The first thing, you go for the registration. The second thing you have to do to upload your resume, and to entire thing you have a time till 12:15 p.m. today. After 12:15 p.m. I will be sharing a JD with you, job description, just to test your IQ. You just need to read that particular JD and answer a few multiple choice questions. Okay, this will be the third stage. Once you will be attending all these things, you will be aligned to perform aptitude, com skill, and your technical domain test. This is the entire description for today. The second, for tomorrow on 16th, we are having your technical interviews and HR interviews lined up. So in the entire thing, there is always a round where we can filter things. Not all these students, because we have already stated that it will be a mock placement drive. So you get to understand where I'm getting failed, why I'm not going ahead with the further procedures, and to understand the depth and the silly things which is going to very important as far as any process is going to concern, right? So just after this session, be very proactive on your WhatsApp groups, start placement groups, and we'll be delivering all the messages and all the functional area where you need to perform in the entire day. So day 1, day 2, and day 3, all the things will be shared by my team on this particular group. All right. So whenever we talk about the placement, the opportunities, the procedure, the 2 or 3 things, I will sum up the entire process in very 2 or 3 minutes. Like number one, you have to be very specific about your skill sets and your fundamentals. You have to be work on your communication foremost. Number 3, you have to be aware what all skill sets are trending these days. Every employer is now in demand of multitasker. No profile is in lower grade or the upper grade or the mediocre grade. It is something they required in interns in the form. You learn the entire thing of corporate within 45 days to 6 months. Once you will be pro with your these 6 months, you are eligible to appear for any of the placement drives. And that's why we always say that internship is mandatory for our students, just to understand how to behave and how to act in very mature conditions, as far as this pandemic is going on, as far as the company's demand is going on. So there are two things you need to understand, and you have to make yourself multitasker, so that the acquire a place of four in one organization. And yes, the avenues, the growth will be depending entirely on your attitude and your performance. That's it from my side as of now. Now, I would like to invite Sumit. He will elaborate you his journey, and tell you that what are the actual do's and don'ts, as far as when you are selecting a profile to work for a corporate. So just give me next 2 minutes. I will be aligned. Sumit to you. He will brief you the entire experience of his internship. So I guess my voice is clear to you. So we are just expecting Sumit in next 15 or 20 seconds. So before that, I guess, Sharat sir, will you please help me read out the chat notes if anybody is having any query and they want to clear? All right. We have two more questions regarding again a contract and the bond. Students understand one basic thing, like every MNC will come up, providing you a contract minimum of 6 months to 1 year or 2 year, and they will impose you a particular charge for that, in the form of monetary or in the form of the documentation. So either of the cases, you no need to worry about the thing, just you need to be confident on your own. And you have to understand, like I will be serving this particular industry for so long, at least not, but at least you need to cover your tenure, which is prescribed in your bond or the contract. So even they just expect one particular thing, there should be a proper communication. In a span of 10 and 11 years, we people are still in bond, and understand the depth of its importance. So contract and bond, they are your buddies. Please do not say, like or do not feel like if any company will impose you any kind of bond, you will be out of this particular process. Pankaj, can you please allow Sumit to involve? He's waiting outside in the block area. Right. So the next question is about the core opportunities. Of course, SISTec is already known as about uh, the core opportunities. We introduce you to the product companies, IT companies, as far as we have 40% of stake in our core opportunities. So for mechanical, civil, and for electrical, electronics, we have very trending profiles, and we are introducing for you in the name of internship. And you have to take this format up, so that the recruiters can see about your performance, and they will provide you very handsome package and your trending profile also. So at SISTec, we always provide these core opportunities, so no need to worry on this. All right, so we have Sumit. Are we audible to you?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Yeah, audible.
All right. So, Sumit, here are your juniors, and they need to understand, because just a year ago, you were at their place, and, asking us n number of things which they have raised in our chat box, like bond, like how to choose a particular skill set, because people, you need to understand, Sumit is having a very cool skill set this time, and which is I guess from the MP, we are the only college we have provided this particular skill set as far as computer science domain is considered.
Yeah.
So you need to understand what he thought and what he is actually doing now. So, Sumit, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. When I enter in the procedure of placement drives, so first thing is in my mind, that is that how it's going and all, and when I take the placement, uh, matter skill set is a matter when you enter in the corporate drives, but I think when you are commitment about the large skill set in the mind, then you have already take up the extra things, like, so when I am in the college, I learn about the Java, but now my skill set is Salesforce. So skill set is matter, but the first thing is which matter is what you have learned and what skills you earned in last 4 years of your journey. So it is not a matter of bond, and not a matter of skill set which is you try a lot. So I think as a fresher you have to go in the corporate world, so skill set you have choose by your own, but if you are getting a better opportunity, then you have to go with the extra skill set. As now I am working as a Salesforce developer, I don't know about the Salesforce a year ago, but when I come into this profile, then it will be better suitable for me, and now I understanding the things many. So you have to go with the GD, increase your communication skills, and I think you get a better opportunity for sure.
Right. And as far as your skill set is considered, Sumit has made this particular skill set in the, once you get placed. So just 3 months ago, he was working on this particular thing online, and he acquired some badges and certifications in Salesforce.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
good
yes,
that,
ma'am.
even in the internship of 3 months, or you would be able to secure a very handsome CTC, which is based on very demanding skill set. And
Yeah,
students, you understand one thing, like you have to be aware what all skill sets are trending in coming 4 years. So it is not something what you have learned, it is enough. It is something what is an actual demand of the
yeah, yeah,
companies and the market. For
yeah.
example,
For
yeah, .NET will
for
going to
the better opportunity, we have to understand the skill set of market, don't our skill set. It is very better for us that we have to understand the skill set what market wants from us.
exactly. And once
Yeah,
you are making, for example, you are very pro, you have learned Python, you have learned machine learning, it is fine, it is completely fine. But understand, these skill sets are good, these skill sets are trending, but these projects are basically for mature people. You required some kind of experience to enroll yourself on this particular task. So when there is particular skill set of yours, you have to understand, like right from engineer trainee, right from a VLSI engineer to robotics to IT services to a Python developer, to machine learning engineer to AI engineer and to Salesforce engineer, design engineer. You have to make a particular skill set of yours, and you have to acquire number of certifications or internships. Internship, why I'm say is sticking to this particular world, because this give you a challenge where you can convert your entire candidature of fresher to the experience. So with the help of this particular thing, you have good 6 months in your hand. Appear for a particular internship and make your good skill set, so that companies will accept you, and you will be able to acquire and secure a very handsome package for yourself. So I
Yeah.
guess we have already make you the entire process of onboarding to placements very clearly, and you're aware now what exactly the rounds going to happen in these 3 days. So we can start with the today's very first phase and first process, that is registration. So all the students get active on your placement groups, and we'll be sharing you the entire description out there. So thank you audience for listening, and thank you students for joining. So now over to the entire team where we are discussing and taking this particular process ahead. Thank you.